What's up, boys? We're back with some more Conquest Dark, and today we're going to be trying out the new artifact, 50% multiplicative passive ability damage based on the number of copies you have, and we're going to take the Paladin Sigil of Flames, which is basically a chain fire proc that goes off of your primary attack, and we're just going to try and scale all of that up as much as possible. So we're going for Ouroborean extra movement attack with the Oathkeeper class. And then I needed dual wielding, I think, gives us a good ability here. So we're looking for the scimitar. It has a very fast attack speed, and there's 2 copies of it. That'll give us a way to also do some primal damage for some stunning. And I looked up the unique items because they're actually incredibly important, especially for a build like this. There's 2 pretty impactful ones. So let's go with Sacred Hammer. It's not super important, but it can hit a lot. We can probably convert that into lunar damage later on for a source of freezing. So we need Sigil of Flames, or we need a chest or boots that are unique. I guess we'll toss some rerolls, see if we can find something with Sigil of Flames that will fit in. I'm not exactly sure the best way to do this. Chromatic is not what we're looking for, although it does seem pretty nice. Still no Sigil of Flames. Another chromatic piece, but not what we're looking for. Wow, it's really hard to find Sigil of Flames, I guess. This might be harder than I thought. Can I even get Sigil? Oh, there we go. So helmet is fine, that works. We can grab that. The stats on it are kind of junk, but it's already so hard to find even one piece of the build I'm going for. I think we'll just go ahead and grab that. And then the runes we want on this will just allow us to hit a lot more. So instant attack and attack reach would be fantastic. Attack arc would also help, I think. So lots of good sun stuff there. Let's go ahead and get some attack reach to increase the range on that. So there's a chest that gives, I think, passive damage. I don't remember. There's a chest and boots. One of them gives like passive damage and solar damage, and one of them gives like proc chance. Here we go, the boots. They give a huge amount of passive damage, and then they actually reduce my solar damage. But as we level this up, I'll actually be able to turn that into a bonus. So that's obviously incredibly important for a solar damage proc build. And then we'll go some attack speed here. So yeah, it's going to take me a while to find all of the items we need for the build since they're so specific. So we're likely going to have to skip stuff quite a bit in the early game to build up all of the rerolls we need for all of that. And we also need to have a few available for the artifacts. I want to get the one that increases the passive damage, obviously, and then also the one that allows you to get mega crits on your crits, since that will scale with proc chance as well and be pretty strong later on. I don't think that works on anything. Proc chance, that works. It's more attack reach. And then we need to skip on the rares. Well, actually you can get unique on anything, I think. What can we get on Sigil before I commit to all of that? Primordial crit damage would be good. Target amount, double shot, damage increased per life lost. So we might actually want to add the 2 slots to that. I'm not exactly sure. Damage to burning and healthy are okay. Chain targets damage to elites are quite good. Oh man, there's so much good stuff. Let's go ahead and grab some target amounts here, I think. Chance to burn is decent. I actually meant to go up to Corruption 7, which is the most shards I had, but I was testing something in a run earlier, and it looks like the game crashed and didn't save anything I was doing there. Another skip, build up the rerolls for now. Let's put another sun rune over here, grab some instant attack chance. So I think we could get a pretty good combo with just 3 on that. Attack arc is nice. We can also get that from soul fragments anyways, so I think that'll end up being fine. And then, is there anything important here? Here we go. Core passive ability. Yep, that's the main one. And then, are we going to use any of these? Maybe crit damage, since we want a lot of primal stuff for the sigil. And then we'll go ahead and multiply all of the sun stuff on that. Go for the 5 runes on the sigil. Let's go, I guess chain targets here sounds cool. Attack speed. Let's do some soul attract range early on there. We do not need that set, so we'll take some more skips. And then I guess we don't really have anything great here. I don't really like these. This has a super long animation. This charges you into melee range, so it's just the dash upgrade, I guess. Let's just take some, well, we can use stun, that's fine actually. And then nothing amazing here. Let's see if we can find some Sigil of Flames, I suppose. That's chromatic set, no. Alright, we're just going to skip for now, save a couple of rerolls for an emergency. Solar chance to burn is very good. Chain targets are damage to healthy. We'll definitely want crit damage on that. That's a huge one. Damage increase per life lost will be very good later on when we sacrifice some of those for damage. Let's grab another movement charge for now. Block and chance to stun, that's fine. Ooh, passive ability damage though. Yep. Attack speed, instant attack chance. Solar is fine, we can take that. Then let's go ahead and add the extra slots before I forget about that. Block chance. Damage per life loss, damage taken. Yeah, I guess so. We'll eventually use that stat to cap out our damage reduction later on. Then let's go ahead and take the primordial multiplier for all of that. Build up some more skips. Double movements. Projectile will work on the hammer, which isn't super important to me. So I guess I'm just gonna take a double that's somewhat useful. Attack reach. And then we want the mega crit thing, so we'll have to toss some rerolls here, it looks like. Nope. There we go, mega crits, 10% chance. And that should scale with proc chance. And then one more good primordial. So I think we can get... Oh, we can actually get double shot for that through the fragments. So what we can do is take this, since that will keep scaling up. That'll be huge later on once we lose some of those. Skip here. Chance to freeze. That will eventually work on the hammer once we convert it, so that's kind of helpful. Then we can go ahead and do that now, I guess. So convert that to lunar. And then we can go stunning there, freezing there, and our main damage solar there. Soul Attract instant attack is pretty good. All decent, but I think we'll go for that one. Or actually, rare items so that we can try to find the stuff that we really need for the build a bit easier now that I think about it. And then what else for the hammer? Projectile amount could work. This is one of the last ones to level up, right? Yeah. So we can freely do anything for that. Duration and energy cost would also be pretty good. You just want to maximize the number of freezes it can do now. So we'll skip that. Projectile amount for the hammers, I guess. I don't think that does anything, so it'd just be that. It's for damage reduction later on. Burning. Solar chance to freeze. Then last slot, 50% projectile amount sounds the best there. Toss a few rerolls, see if we can find anything important. Sigil of Flames, that is a chest armor, which we need the unique for. So unfortunately, I can't take that. The uniques are just too important. Blocking thing, no. So we'll skip there and keep fishing for the uniques. Passive damage. Burning. Toss a couple more for the Sigil of Flames. Same block thing. Alright, nothing. Let's save a couple of rerolls. Yeah, I guess we want to toss the rerolls on the legendaries if possible, since that gives us both the Sigil of Flames and the unique chance. Chain targets. Damage to burning. Oh, I'm actually not sure if you can get the same passive on every slot available. I think you can, but it actually is quite difficult to find everything I'm looking for, so I'm not positive on that. Ability damage, yup. Primal resistance, I suppose, since we need all the rerolls I can get currently. Damage and movement's not bad. I guess if there's nothing amazing there, we could actually just skip as well to try and find the gear a little bit faster. Attack arc dodge charges, that's pretty good. Yeah, those are not the greatest, we'll skip that. Crit damage set, no. Did I end up getting attack arc? No. And I don't think we're actually using any of that either. So it doesn't matter too much here. Block chance. Don't think we had any of those. Let's do a skip here. Ability barrier. Only one of those really helps. I guess that's fine. Attack reach to make the scimitars go further and proc stuff easier. We are using lunar here, I guess. Crit chance. Double shot, since that works on the sigil, we definitely want some of that on the fragments. Burning. Target amount, solar both work. Double shots. We can skip that. I guess we'll just try and upgrade a blue if I find that next. It's been a while since we've tried to fish for gear. Ensign attack. Attack arc damage to injured is pretty good. Yup. Burning. Burning or attack speed. We don't have any of that yet. Block chance burning. Ability or solar both work. Damage for life loss. Burning. Alright, so let's do that and then fish for some. Nope, wrong one. Wrong one. Not finding any Sigil of Flames here. There's one. That's the pants, which is fine. We need chests for the other unique. The stats on that are terrible, but it's kind of hard to find stuff, so oh well. Chance to spawn XP and energy cost, not bad. Are we using crit damage? Yes, okay, that's pretty good. I guess freeze is the highest rarity there. That is not it. Resistance piercing dodge charges, not bad. Block chance. Crits. I don't think projectile split does anything. Damage for life loss or early XP. It's probably fine. Power does nothing, Pierce does nothing. I'm just gonna skip here, I think. Damage is stunned is fine. And then we have plenty of rerolls, so we'll fish again. Oops, I just missed one. Armor we can't use. Sigil on gloves, that works. 2 decent stats, that's fine. Actually, I'm not sure if projectile's that good. Movement and chance for rare items, that's decent. And then I don't think we're using any of these. So we just need the unique chest now and we'll be all good. And you can get uniques at any rarity, I think. That's barrier, barrier, barrier. Where is the other unique chest? Barrier. Barrier. Alright, I guess it's bugged. That's unfortunate. Rare items, damage, that's pretty good. None of those really does a ton. Block chance. Solar health regen. I think I like damage per life loss the most. That's really strong later on. Chromatic. We didn't see that a single time when I was rolling on the blues. Are there like certain rarities that uniques can only appear at or something? There's something strange happening. But we're not getting any sigil. There's one. I mean, we've done like 40 or 50 rerolls into chests, and I haven't seen it yet. So I think there's some sort of bug or something that I'm not understanding correctly. So I think we will just take that and get one more stack on the artifact. Unfortunately, we can't do the absolute maximum power for the build for some reason here. I'm just gonna take whatever. I'm gonna eventually have those maxed out anyways. Damage is fine. Attack reach proc chance is pretty good. And then chain targets. And then proc chance, movement speed. So what are we missing? We're missing proc chance and something else. So we're going to have to get it purely through the soul fragments then. All damage. Attack speed. Let's go crit chance there. Early XP. Burn. Block chance. Damage to elites. Rerolls barrier? I guess so. Not the greatest. And then we can do some instant attack piercing there. Oh, the damage per life loss is actually pretty good. Should have taken that. Passive damage. Crit damage. Crit chance. Crit damage. Passive. I'll do some more rare items early on, and then solar damage. Instant attack crit chance. We can look for something a bit better there. There's 2 damage stats. I guess I'm just going to max these out so I can just click whatever on that screen and not have to think about it. Target amounts. I think it probably is optimal to just skip those 2 and go for the extra power if you're just doing a regular glass cannon build though. Solar damage. Primal projectile amounts. Do a bit more movement. Rare items. Crit damage. That's just damage taken, really. Let's do attack reach or damage to injured. Healing, instant attack, or passive damage. I'll do the instant attack, I think. Attack reach. Health regen's kind of junk, though. Crit chance, instant attack. Damage to frozen. Ooh, proc chance. We need that on soul fragments whenever possible. Probably damage to burning there. That works on the passive thing. Damage. I think that's fine. Ooh, crit damage. Projectile amount works on the hammers. I don't think it worked on that. It was double shots. We did kind of want for that. Primary attack and double shot. The double shot's fine at least. Passive and movements. Crits and resistance pierce. Attack speeds. Actually, two kind of helpful things, sure. Soul attract chain targets. Yep. Power proc chance. Yep. We can do a bit more movement speed as we lose lives. Block chance is okay. Attack reach. Block and frozen, that's fine. Oh, we do need some stun chance. We don't have any of that yet for the scimitars. Power and stun. I guess so. Solar damage. Get the resistance piercing up a bit. Get the bosses. I don't think either of those even do anything. Crit damage or double shot, that's more fun. Rare items. Soul attracts. Yeah, they really need to make the soul fragments like 5 times as rare, but give 5 times as many stats or something. It is just so annoying spending so much time in these level up screens right now, I feel like. That's fine. That's better. Damage dodge is quite good. Attack speed target amount's also really good. Crits piercing's pretty good. Instant attack. Crit damage. You can't actually see the proc amount on stuff, can you? Not on that. I guess you could see how much you have in here. What would it be under? I guess probably damage? No. Attack maybe? Proc chance 50%. Crit chance. That's almost maxed out, but that'll do it, I guess. Ability damage. Crit and movement speed. Instant attack. Solar barrier recharge. I don't think that's great. Damage chance of stun, that's decent. Damage to elites. I don't think health regen does anything. XP and instant attack, not bad. Solar passive is pretty good. Primary and freeze, that's not great, that's not great either. We'll just take some freeze chance, I guess. Attack reach. Damage attack speeds. Crit damage. Burn is okay. Crit damage to elites is great. Yeah, we'll take some of that. Proc chance. I don't think I'm using any of those. Oh, I am using the lunar one. Let's do rarity up, and then solar passive. Those are terrible. Solar passive. Crit plus projectile. XP. Those are terrible. Attack speed per life loss is okay. Other stuff is mostly maxed out. I can't move. Ability or stun. We can do a bit more on that for the scimitars. Passive damage. Damage to stuns. What are my stats based on life loss now? 345 attack speeds. Damage reduction. I think we're capped at 75% there then? Ability health regen, I guess so. Proc chance. Every time. Power. Block and damage to injured is decent. Yep. Rare and burning. Proc chance. Movement and burn. I guess so. Passive. Solar passive. Passive. We are not quite capped on that, right? Yeah. We're actually at about 2/3 of that, so it's pretty good. Bunch of stuff there. Target or burn are both fine. Frozen. Crits and barrier. We're gonna have to reroll some stuff here. That looks okay. Stun or some damage stuff. Projectile split doesn't do anything. I don't think projectile amount does a ton. Crit damage barrier. Solar passive. Damage to healthy. Ooh, ability target amounts. Well, we seem to have plenty of single target damage at least. Attack reach is okay. Ooh, pure solar damage. Crit and damage, that's quite good. And movements. Yeah, it's fine. Oh my god, the lasers. That doesn't do anything. Those are trash. Damage at least. Block and damage reflects. Ooh, damage per life loss is pretty good. And another one. That doesn't do a ton. Crit and primal is fine. Attack reach and some junk, no. Passive, quite a bit. Ooh, attack reach. We need a lot of that still. Chain targets, at least. Crit damage barrier amounts. Proc chance. Soul fragments are so annoying. Please. Some sort of change to that would be so nice. Proc and passive is insane. That's one of the best graders we can get. Chance of stun. Attack reach damage to elites is pretty good. All damage. Damage to healthy. Ability and energy on block. Or soul attract. These are all okay. I guess probably here we can kind of use both of those at least. Projectile barrier. Crit damage. Power attack speed. Rare and burning. Yeah. Everything's max stability damage. Crit damage. Jesus, the boss dies instantly. Proc chance. Crit damage. That is maxed out. So XP healthy. Solar damage. I can't see anything. There's so many lasers. So unfortunately, there's a really good chest that's insane and best in slot here, but I'm not sure exactly how you find that. There's something I'm missing there. Maybe you have to kill the super boss to unlock it or something? But it gives you a ton of proc chance, and we could have gotten that a lot higher for the build. Only 110% there. That would scale up all of the Sigil of Flames and the Mega Crit thing as well. So damage could have been a lot higher, but the passive and solar damage was definitely fantastic there, so that was pretty good. We did get 4 sigils to buff up the new artifact a decent amount. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.